He can do some jungling straight away. He's one of the fastest junglers in the game. And then Invoker, who's just been one of the more, I think, at least reliable cores, just because he's relatively impactful early on. He can usually win his lane, or at least do all right. And he obviously scales really well into late game, probably better than almost any other mid laner we see right now. Outside of maybe a Phantom Lancer or something. But obviously compLexity are going to be running the DK mid here against the Invoker. That's not a terrible matchup, right? DK just gets what he needs out of the lane, nothing more.
Yeah. DK does okay just because the high armor makes it so that it's very hard for heroes to kind of mess with you.
Winter Wyvern now for Digital Chaos. Feels like the... Okay, that's definitely an aggressive style, pushing core, starts the tempo rather early on. Venomancer core, so Venomancer safe lane? I mean, usually we see Venomancers mid, but they already have a Dragon Knight. This is a safe lane farming DK?
10 seconds remaining.
What's going on here, Blitz?
5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Yeah.
Slog.
Yeah, they must have some sort of strategy.
Turn to ban.
Yeah, the Gale, but not the ult. But the ult's kind of offset by the fact that you could just go off map, right? With compLexity, you don't see you start getting the regen kicking in from your ult, and that pretty much offsets the damage over time of Venomancers, so... Yeah, and it's really, really easily telegraphed, the Elder Titan Stomp, and then... Yeah, the DK stun, yeah.
Remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
compLexity definitely have to hit this lineup really hard, really early. They're going to ban away the Phoenix. Pretty understandable. That's just a good teamfight hero that compLexity would have a hard time fighting into. I think teamfight is really all that DC need to ensure victory here because they very clearly have the scaling necessary. All they have to do is stop compLexity's high ground push. There is a lot more on the checklist of things to do for compLexity in this game number 1. They still need an offlaner of some sort. We suggested, Faceless Void earlier. That could still be a good initiator considering they have 2 somewhat ranged cores. They actually ban away the lifestealer. Do you think this is like Veno offlane? Yeah. Yeah.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, that works. I like that idea, actually.
Reserve time.
So in which case, if you still have a safe lane carry, you most likely can't outscale an Invoker, Slark, Beastmaster, Winter Wyvern. So you got to get a pushing style hero. What's left? Lycan. Any other good tempo controllers? Lifesteal was banned away, I guess. That was probably their best option. What's really good versus Slark? Nothing.
Lifestealer was good.
Unbeatable hero.
Hey, is Timber banned?
5 seconds remaining.
Just do Timber,
pick
guys.
Up a safe lane Timber. Then you have very little high ground push outside of your TK.
Nah,
don't you want more of that?
You just kill heroes in Dota.
What about
not a thing.
What about Sven?
You just kill heroes.
Is
Sven's
Sven
not a
still
good
slow?
high grounder. You just kill heroes. Sven's not bad though. But you don't. Before in the past, like you would need a dedicated high ground hero.
You only need one. Okay. There can only be one? Oh, okay. Well, 25 more seconds. compLexity. Alright, you better start getting your predictions on point here, buddy. I don't want to see any more loss of battle points. Whatever. Yeah. Well, you know, some run. Who would you rather have as a North? Would you rather have complexity versus FTL be the rivalry? DC versus EG?
To be honest with you.
Wow, you're going into this series with real high hopes for Cole.
Dude, I want...
Cole is 1 win away from taking first. Yeah. and they lost it. They didn't take first because they lost to FTL. Oop. Get the guaranteed in.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
You're getting way too much of a kick out of this. You're evil.
I like the guys on complexity a lot.
I know you do.
So this is me just... As a commentator, though, it's pretty funny. Like
It is.
It's a funny storyline.
It's a pretty funny narrative, indeed.
Yeah.
All
These
right,
guys
so
that don't really care, they just like showed up and beat them.
Complexity have chosen to go for the last pick, Gyrocopter for Chessie Blitztoda. While we're watching the wards being laid down and everything else, we have 1 minute to decide our predictions.
Alright, hit me up, fam.
Player with the highest total magic or pure damage done to heroes by 25 minutes. That's gotta be the gyro, right?
Huh?
That's gotta be the gyro, right?
I don't know, man. I feel like Rubik can throw out a lot of fade bolts. No, I think it'll be gyro.
Team
Wait,
with the
is
most Roshan kills.
Team with the most Roshan kills.
Yeah.
DC.
Yeah, you're going DC?
Yeah, easily.
Okay.
There's like
All
no
right.
Rosh heroes on complexity, dude. They actually
yeah,
can't
but
do
they're,
Roshan.
they're the more aggressive team. They're dire side. Even if they can't take it very quickly.
Not taking it very quickly is an understatement.
Alright, first player to get 15 denies. Last series, the very last game, the answer was nobody. So,
Really? Nobody got 15?
Nobody got 15 denies.
Is that an answer?
In Cole versus FDL.
Let's take
no, that
we.
is not an answer. You have to choose a player.
Let's take we.
We. Alright. And total number of smoke gang kills at game end. Oh, we missed it. Alright, well you can...
Spiritual answer, I'll say 2.
2 smoke gang kills.
Or,
Alright.
like, you smoke and then you get a kill?
Yeah.
But, like, what if you get a team
you
fight?
smoke up, your smoke pops, and within 10 seconds you get into an engagement that results in a kill.
Okay. What if you get, like, 4 kills? Does that count as 4? I don't even care about that category. It's so pointless.
Alright, fine. Real quickly, can you check in your Dota TV? Can you lower the thresholds? Apparently, you're cutting off a little bit in game.
Okay, sure.
All right, so we are going to be starting off with the dual lane. Z-Freak versus Saksa on the 2 opposing supports. Weeha on the Invoker and Limp on the Dragonite as our opposing cores. They're going to be trying to mess with each other as much as possible because, well, they've got nothing else to do. After all, both offlaners are going to be full-time jungling. Don't think a Venomancer beats a Beastmaster, but it's probably going to be pretty close. This has kind of already been theory crafted that Venomancer, now with the change-up of damage, is able to do a lot more with his wards. We'll see what Swindles... I mean, this is the first time I've seen it.
I told you about that, right?
Yeah.
We talked about that at the tournament. Let's keep it let's keep it vague about the possibility of a Veno jungle.
I think actually it was maybe me, you, and Purge had this conversation about veggies.
No, let's just say I knew about this beforehand.
Okay, fair.
It had been experimented with to disastrous results.
Disastrous results? Well, we'll see if Swindles is able to...
But it got buffed. It got buffed.
Yeah. Provide the bit more oomph to it with the Iron Talon pickup, and is already level 3 by 2 minutes. That is ahead of Moose Beastmaster so far. It's just now picking up his level 3.
This is pretty quick, because you can do 2 camps at once.
Yeah.
Swindles. What a player.
Breaking the meta. He's now moving his way over to the hard camp instead of the medium camp on the left-hand side, now that he's got his upgraded wards.
Dude, this is my favorite thing to watch ever. Like, I haven't even looked at another lane since this has started.
You don't even care? I mean, the other lanes are pretty boring. You could just check out mid and see where the CS is going, and that's pretty much all you need to know.
Like, it's not
Yeah,
like
I know.
anything's happening. He's just farming the same
Yeah,
camp.
no one's killing the Dragonite, and Dragonite's certainly not killing the Invoker, so...
Yeah. This is like
It's
a
just a
National
CS war.
Geographic, man. Junglers in the wild. It is. I don't know how to feel about that, by the way. In terms of how Dota's kind of shifted away from having an off lane and just having some guy, farm on stuff.
You can say it's awful.
I'll just say I'm not the biggest
I'll let
fan.
Z-Freak, potentially first blood. The Sunstrike's in the line first. Oh, just moments before the TP completes. Sad
Bruh.
Z-Freak thought, yeah, he got the the support syndrome where you're running around the map and the lanes aren't really set up for you to do anything, so you try and push a little hard to do something. He goes into the off lane and immediately gets caught.
It's okay though, because this Venomancer is level 6 almost at 4 minutes.
Yeah, and what? He's
Yeah,
almost
dude,
level- Jesus.
he's gonna get it at 3 minutes and 40 seconds.
Holy crap. And he's still got Ancients to farm, too, by the way. Like, Z-Freak should have been stacking this up a little bit more.
Yeah,
so
the
I think
3
they're-
minute 40 second Venomancer level 6, that is ungodly.
Pretty
That's
absurd.
a full level ahead of that Invoker that
Dire's
got a
top
kill.
tower is under attack.
Oh,
Yeah. Insane. Insane stuff. Haystron gonna be picked up, or denied, rather, by Soxa.
wonder what resolution he decides to go for. If he decides to go for just like Blink looks pretty good this game. Shadowblade is an option, but at the same time, if Cole decide to 5-man, the effectiveness of the item gets kind of limited a little bit more.
What is it for you that determines the difference between Blink and Shadowblade for Slark?
I think Shadowblade is a better pickoff and split push item, and I think Blink is a better teamfight item.
So in this kind of scenario, say you're able to jump in and put pressure on the Venomancer really early on. You
Yeah.
can force him to use his ult early without the rest of your team engaging.
The downside though about Blink, okay, so you hit the hammer on the nail or whatever. If you pick Slark and you try to go Shadowblade against a 5-man lineup and they just play sentries everywhere, you're gonna have to use your ultimate to initiate. Oh,
Right.
Beastmaster gets a kill on that DK.
Yep.
Moo just pops out of the jungle. That's convenient, but like we were talking about.
Radiant structures are
Oh, at bottom, Swindles is.
Is he dead?
Maybe.
I'm kind of following top at the
Nice.
same time. Moo, he's getting away. Swindle, Sunstrike. Ooh! All right, sweet.
Man, he almost won that fight.
Land another one.
He could have won that fight. He
Yeah.
was gonna win that fight. There's
didn't-
a lot-
If he didn't man down?
Yeah, there was no. Slark has no mana to use Dark or Shadow Dance.
Yeah.
He just got enough because over time, but before that point, he wouldn't have had it even if he tread swapped. That's crazy.
Yeah. And considering how incredibly over-leveled he is, that is rather unfortunate that he dies to the Slark. Gives away a lot of experience.
Oh, that's a level 7 Venomancer.
Yeah,
It works
I
against
thought
you.
he was just going to go from doing his neutrals to doing the Ancients, because he's got maxed out wards now, so I figured you would never put yourself in danger of being caught twice in a row, Swindles. You don't have a TP here, my friend. This pounce is your death. He's going to try and juke his way through the trees, has lots of wards down. He's going to be playing around this. He's fully committed at this point, and he wants to be able to see if he can get some sort of turnaround kill. In fact, he's going to survive if his allies come in, and both are incredibly low. They're going to be able to get the last hit from the Oracle onto one. Resolution tries to scoot his way through the trees. Nice juke out, but Hanskin's going to be able to scout him. Doesn't have the mana for the nuke, but Z-Freak is here to save the day. Swindles not only survives, but they managed to get the kill on both of the DC members trying to take him out.
Yeah, this Slark hates this Venomancer right now. Because you can't do anything. He can't immediately burst him down. The Venomancer wards do too much damage. He's so over-leveled right now. Like, this is a level 8 Venomancer with an Aquila. What are you going to do against that? That's a higher level than the Gyrocopter. That's almost as much farm as the Gyro right now. Like, in terms of net worth, this Venomancer is just below the Beastmaster, who has a kill of his own.
It's always fun to cast complexity games when they're on a elimination point in a tournament. Obviously, this isn't full elimination. They would just go into the wild card, but they would much rather have the secured invite into TI directly without having to worry about that wild card series. Last time we saw, what was it, the Axe Winter Wyvern combination that they pulled out? Where
That was at Epicenter?
double jungling, yep, that was Epicenter versus EG, I think?
Fnatic.
Fnatic, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Roar on Hanskin, Sudden Strike over the top. Hanskin won't be able to save himself from that one. Misery. Now the question is, can he actually save Moo? Moo will be able to dance himself to the side here, dodging Chessie's ultimate. And Moo is going to be cut off potentially by Limp. He drives himself deeper into the jungle, goes for the TP out, and will be successful. That's going to be 4 members of compLexity all wasting their time for a kill. That didn't happen.
Yeah. And the biggest issue right now for Cole is that this Weehaw Invoker has Midas now, and I'm going to tell you something. When you play against an Invoker, you feel uncomfortable. Like, this must have happened to everybody at least once in chat, right? You're playing against an Invoker, you leave him alone, he gets 1 or 2 Sunstrike kills, and all the time you're thinking, this guy has Midas and he's farming.
Yeah.
It puts that, like, psychological pressure on you. Because you know this guy's just going to scale like crazy and be annoying. And it's a Weehaw Invoker. Like, this is one of the best Invokers in the world.
Right.
I can feel comfortable saying that because of his performance at big stages with this hero.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got those 2 factors in mind. A, he's got a really fast Midas. B, you know, it's a Weehaw Invoker. And now compLexity, you're probably thinking, like, we should get things accomplished sooner than later.
TP out, Misery, he'll be fine. Moo may still be cut off here. Hanskin and Limp are going to make their way around. Moo didn't expect that one, and he realizes to his dismay that there's no way out of this one. Gets the roar off on Chessie with a Sunstrike, but Limp knows what was coming. Yeah, they all surrounded Chessie, realized that Hanskin's accidental, I believe, Pure Line Flames on Chessie brought him dangerously low to getting one shot by a Sunstrike.
Yeah, that was very well done by... it was really well done by compLexity to stick together. They're also able to get the kill on Moo. They're in an okay position overall. I think the only downside right now for DC is that they're going to lose a lot of these tier 1 towers early, and their bottom towers getting gone on, but like time and time again, this Invoker's picked up so many kills now, almost as drums already on top of the Aquila and that Hand of Midas.
Yeah.
Like this is just a little bit too efficient.
And if anything, out of all the cores, right, it's the Invoker that you're most scared of as compLexity, because compLexity's going to be the one trying to approach high ground, and Invoker is one of the toughest heroes to push high ground into when he starts getting those big levels, 16 with Ags, get level 22, etc. He just becomes such a monster of outputting magic damage that you can't really be stopped.
It's not even just, but if you look at compLexity's lineup, this is not a lineup that wants to deal with split push at all. Like, there are certain lineups that are okay with it, like when you have a Nature's Prophet on your team or you have pick-off heroes, you're okay with having to counter push out lanes, but this is not the type of lineup that wants to spend that time to push out lanes. Like,
Right.
This is a lineup that effectively wants to apply pressure at all times, and this is the right move because Invoker, even though he seems scary, like, you think of his potential damage and it's very high, but early on, when he's only got that first or second level of Invoke, it's 22-second cooldown cap. You're only going to be able to cast like 2 spells.
Roar on Zeke, there you go. Stay by Hanskin, tanks that Sunstrike. Saksa is going to be caught here inside the trees. The Jar Hunter does throw off the ultimate just to protect him, but they can't actually save the Elder Titan. He ends up going down to the damage anyway. 1-for-1 in supports, but come like see their moment to keep on moving forward. They're going to slow down Misery slightly, won't be able to catch anybody though, and they are being seriously delayed in taking this tier 1 tower. They're still going to try and do it. This time they're going to be facing up against Misery's Plague Wards that he's stolen away from Swindles.
It's not a bad steal, just because he can keep everybody back, and like we talked about, compLexity want to be on the aggressive this game, and DC want to just buy time. Because DC understands that if their lineup just has a little bit of time cap, they're going to get so much further ahead.
Right.
Like, they've got this Slark just free farming. We're talking about this, like, Invoker who's had, like, free farm and like, no pressure, and this Slark who's been pressured multiple times and even killed, and this Slark has more net worth, despite not having a Midas. Like, this game is rapidly becoming really scary for compLexity.
So compLexity need to start getting a better hold on things. They can't even necessarily win some of these team fights. DC are even trying to pressure compLexity now. They're going to take a tier 1 tower in return, and Cole aren't actually going to be able to fight it, it seems like. They're going to be going in. Dragon Form is about to be down. Swindles doesn't have enough mana for his ult plus Gale. Looks like the tier 1 tower will be able to stay alive for now, but one push where compLexity aren't in position to be able to defend, and Invoker will claim that.
lot of this is how many heroes that you have that can simply catch. Who should be able to get out of here? Yeah, they're not even going to get him. Do you see the difficulty? Like, this highlights my point better than anything so far in the game. They send 3 heroes, 2 cores up there to try to deal with that Beastmaster, and they can't even catch him. If you're having that much trouble, and look, Jesse's going to go down too now. That's Resolution's first reveal of the Shadow Blade. He picks up a core kill because he knows that the Gyrocopter is going to be greedy. You don't want to respond to that if you're complexity. That sucks for you. Because now you're going to have to rotate cores up here. You see now Swindles is up here. He doesn't want to be up here. Weeha's going to push out his jungle. He's going to push out the mid lane. Like, this is not a good position for complexity to be in. I know it's only a 2-kill difference, but think about the overall game flow and the tempo.
Yeah, complexity definitely need to be the ones controlling the tempo of this game, and right now, since they don't have the heroes to punish these kind of split push or attempts at ganks, they are allowing Digital Chaos to be able to run kind of rampant. I mean, Moo, he didn't even have much of a shot killing the Gyrocopter first go-around, but he was able to kick more than he really should have, just as he knows, like, it's only the Dragon Knight that's going to be able to stop him from getting the TP out. He is now going to be potentially caught by this Dragon Knight, but as I say that, he does a quick ring around the Rosie, and Limp is slowed down to a crawl by this board, being repeatedly kited out.
Okay, so now you've every single time you have to flash that DK core. We talked about it. What is their one disable in this game? It's that DK. So much of this onus goes onto Limp. This game, he's uncomfortable. Like, this is not a game you feel good as a Dragon Knight, because you know that Slark is just going to rush a Silver Edge after that Echo Saber. Nobody survives against Resolution right now. Like, he's going to get those pick-offs free every single time.
Eldestang gets caught in the bottom lane, taken out by Sunstrike. We're going to follow Saksa, who ends up going down now, so both supports end up falling. That's
but you're
unfortunate,
okay.
But as you're kind of pointing out, Dragon Knight shows, as soon as Dragon Knight showed, Weehaw pushed top lane.
Yeah. It's not even just that. At the same time Dragon Knight shows mid, then the Slark decides to do whatever he wants in this game.
Yeah.
And that's what people should focus on in games of Dota, is how easy is it for one team to get a kill over another. Like, this Slark he's a monster right now. Yeah. Like, this guy's the boogeyman. He's just this terror on the force. You don't want to run into him, but at the same time, like, you have to split up and farm in a game where you're not going to go for a 5-man. Opportunity to go for the straight 5-man is too hard.
Yeah. Well, top 2 net worth, complexity are lacking behind in gold and experience. They do have this ancient stack that they're claiming, but things are looking a bit bleak for them. They need to start amping things up here in the next 5 minutes, or it's going to look real bad. If 25 minutes they still don't have some of these tier 2s. Can they possibly take a Roshan? We made some jokes about that. They're obviously incredibly slow. What do you do as complexity if you're getting kited around and there's a pickoffs you can't really punish? How do you stop this bleeding?
I'm not sure, because Slark in a game like this, the other reason why he's so owned is because he can scout for your wards, and every single time he sees the DK, then he can traverse to the other side of the map. He knows if he's being spotted or not. He knows, like, how the map is being rotated. Like, look, he's just spotted out 3 different wards. Like, Misery knows that there's a ward right there. He's going to wait for the lane to push out. He can deward that at his leisure. Like, there's a lot of different opportunities for them. And complexity, what they have to do at all times is they've got to keep these lanes pushed out. Look at how aggressively this top lane is being pushed out by this Beastmaster and Saksa. These guys don't have a care in the world, because at the end of the day, it's a 2,800 net worth Winter Wyvern. He doesn't really care.
Yeah.
And every single time, like, complexity, they have to be committed to doing these. At some point, I think, as soon as you grab an item on anybody, you just go for it. And we talked about how the DK immediately, you can't go arm like this game. You have to go Blinker Shadow Blade.
Well, his first reveal of the Shadow Blade is going to be a lot more lackluster. It will get the kill on the Winter Wyvern, but as you just pointed out, it was a 2,800, now only 2,700 net worth Winter Wyvern. You don't really care about his death too much.
Yeah, right now, XP-wise, almost 5k. Net worth before that kill was about 4k. They're in really stunning shape right now. This Winter Wyvern, the reason why you kill him is he plays that Pylai die roll where you're on the opposite side of the map farming away from your Slark. That's really important, that you're not occupying the same space as cores. Complexity, though, that's a really good pickoff for them, and I do like that they waited for that Shadow Blade and they didn't get too panicky, because it only takes 1 or 2 moments where they panic and they just lose the game. So now this is where the siege starts, but at the same time, Misery with the stolen wards again, it just makes this annoying more than anything.
And the
Lim's
counter ward.
spotted right now.
Counter ward already laid out. They're actually going to start going on to Lim. Telekinesis, a little bit of Arctic Burn, nothing major. They're not actually trying to contest too much here unless they get a really good Winter's Curse. They're just buying a little bit of space for, whew, that was actually kind of close. They're buying space for Resolution to take this tier 2, slowly but surely.
It's not even that slowly. He's done 1100 damage to it. This Invoker continues to farm. And something about DC is that everybody's working in tandem right now. They move with purpose. Like, their cores are splitting up. Like, one core takes this side, the other core takes this side. Then they can just keep sandwiching their farm. compLexity, we should talk about them a little bit more, but honestly, I think their plays are a lot more limited than DC's. Like, DC has the movement and the heroes to make cool moves like this. Like, I know they're not getting kills, but this is still good, really good movement. That's why I'm talking about it so much. But for compLexity, they're kind of just in this weird, awkward moment cap where they want to get aggressive, but they can't.
Yeah. It all revolves around Dragonite, and you're kind of living on a hope and prayer that you find an important hero with this Shadowblade. You're able to successfully gank something like a Slark, because without the Shadowblade initiation, it is a damn near impossibility that you can kill this Slark. Not enough disable, not fast enough.
Yeah, just keep doing this over and over again. Everybody farms out, you don't really have a lot of opportunities to do anything. DC will continue to play this game where they wrap you around. compLexity look like they're going to go for the one objective. They start on this Roshan, which just looks awkward. Oh, they're actually just counter-warding against each other.
Is there a next round of items? I mean, compLexity, they're not really moving too much, and you say they're not panicking. Okay, that's good enough to panic, but are you just waiting for opportunities from Limp?
Honestly, I'm not really sure what to do in this position either.
Yeah.
Like, if there was a clear move, I would... like, I'm thinking about it right now, but... I just think this Slark and this Invoker are too hard to lock down. They always split up on the map. So if one of them dies, the other gets to farm. Like, Weehawk already has an axe, man.
No level 16. Just level 13 with an axe by 20 minutes.
Casual.
They are going to go for the Roshan, but this starts becoming more and more obvious because they're so slow at it, and they're going to take a whole entire tier 2 at top lane with nobody of compLexity responding, because they can't. Like, they have to have everyone surrounding that Roshan pit because they also don't have the guaranteed team fight if they get caught here.
Resolution's gonna take the high ground angle. Moo's gonna just continue to push top. He doesn't even really care about this. They're gonna spot this. Look how long this takes them. This is why I was so concerned. Like, you have Dire Side, but at the end of the day, it's still a gyro comp.
Lim pops out. They're going to be able to find Soxa. That could be a free kill. The Elder Titan ultimate might be able to finish him off, but now a Meteor actually lands on both, bringing Chessie relatively low. They have Swindles getting off the ultimate. That's going to force a Resolution to pop his ult and TP out. DC, though, they've only lost to Winter Wyvern so far. Looks like Misery will be the second kill. Turns around, almost managing to finish up Limp there with turnaround Breathe Fire, but still a little bit of damage on the tier 3. Fortunately for compLexity, the Necronomicon minions did die shortly after the tier 2 went down. Otherwise, that would have been potentially a whole entire tier 3 being taken while they were fighting around the Roshan pit. And speaking of which, they haven't even finished up Rosh yet. Still 4K and growing on his HP pool.
Yeah, they're gonna go back in for it, and I think that's the play to make. But unfortunately, there's a forward spirit there, and I think it just takes them all the time in the world. Like, they don't have the ET ult anymore, they don't have Hanskin's ulti. It's a little bit concerning for me. And all the meanwhile, Moo's just gonna split push this. You have to send somebody to deal with it. That's one of your Rosh heroes at the bottom. Z-Freak's gonna get gone on. He goes down really quickly. That's almost a BKB now for the Slark too. We already talked about the difficulties of killing him. This just makes things even more difficult.
Yeah. No lockdowns to go through the magic immunity whatsoever. And Moo, he's going to draw someone up here to this top lane eventually. DC will get the space to push out bottom if they want to. Again, they're just stalling the Roshan pit. At this point, oh my god, what happened? Alright, die next to the tier 2 tower, got stunstruck to death by Invoker.
I think compLexity's move is wrap around, try to smoke kill a core.
Oh, they're actually going to try and take Roshan. They force somebody up top. They're going to try and take Roshan themselves with the Invoker, because Invoker is decently fast at doing it with Alacrity and its Sports Spirits. And they may actually get this Aegis before complexity is going to be here. Yep. It's down. Steve. First Roshan kill of the game goes to their favor, and that was supposed to be the objective that maybe complexity could have, with some confidence, gone in 5-man and tried to push high ground with, see if they can end this game, or at least get themselves a big advantage in the next 5 minutes, but that's no longer the case.
This is a prime example of score just not mattering in a game. I know a lot of people in chat and stuff, they'll see that it's 10-9 and they'll criticize us talking about DC having this huge lead, but come on, you have to open up your eyes. Like, it's 7,500 XP, more than 6k net worth difference. They've got an Aegis now, and they have definitively the better late game too.
And they've got very clear opportunities as well. Complexity are going to be jumped on here by Resolution. Again, he's still got a BKB, so highly doubt they're going to be able to kill him. And if he does, well, they do get him. Are they going to be able to take him out a second time? He's going to BKB. He's going to turn. Fight. Starts going on a Chessie. The rest of his team is going to follow up. Moon's going to make it in through the back hole. Will be able to hit one. Z-Freak, actually, with Swindle's getting that decent ultimate. He hits a lot of the heroes of DC, and they may not be able to fight around that. It's still Moo as well as Resolution going in. They've managed to finish up Hanskin with the help of Saksa, while Resolution gets Swindles. They also control Limp now, holding him in place. They are all decently poisoned up, but Resolution doesn't give a damn. He's going to go in for this kill. Gets it too. Nobody at Digital Chaos ends up going down outside of their Aegis on Resolution, while all 5 of Complexity are dead.
Yeah, they're just gonna straight up push now. Can you defend the next 2 or 3 pushes? In terms of team fights, like, if you look at Complexity's lineup, that fight is some fight that they have to take, but they don't want to take. If that makes sense at all. Like, it's a free opportunity to get into a 5-man and not allow DC to just immediately go for the high ground, because if anything, DC's going to wait for that second Aegis before they go for the high ground. But the limitations of their drafts are such that if you weren't pushing early, you were just going to get out-farmed and out-split.
Yeah. Update on our prediction. Splits, you're wrong once again.
Which one? Which one?
Who do you think the magic damage was? 25 minutes.
By 25 minutes?
Yeah.
Dude, I thought it was 10 minutes.
No, I said 25 minutes, dude. Come on.
Last time it was 10, though.
Yeah, I know. These things change.
Oh, dang.
Well, but who do you think it is now? I ain't telling you why you're wrong.
Is it the Slark?
No.
Is it Invoker?
No.
Is it Swindle's Lord?
It's the overfarmed Swindles.
Oh, Swindles.
With that jungle Venomancer and all the magic damage that comes from a nicely leveled Veno with good ults.
I don't know why I doubted Swindles.
You really shouldn't have. And you're doubting him even still. Saying they're down and out.
I'm not saying they're down and out, I'm saying...
Oh, come on, they're pretty down and out. They just got wiped. It would take some, like, incredible timing for them to turn this game around, right? It would be like, win a big team fight, push in, take some control, maybe get some tier 2s or something, win another team fight, back up, Roche, go high ground, win another team fight. You're talking about an 8-minute narrative where the Slark and Invoker and Beastmaster are only getting stronger and only split pushing you more. Limp almost gets popped there, will be saved by Hanskin. BKB popped out, now the Winter's Curse actually coming into play, holding these heroes in place. Jesse, he's just getting kited around, right click down by the physical damage, doesn't give a damn about BKB. Hanskin gets cleaned up. Swindles also going to be hit by this one. Z-Freak hits a pretty good ultimate, but it doesn't seem to matter. It is going to be yet another wipe. Digital Chaos. They look healthy too. Even though they're taken away with some of that Venomancer's poison damage, they are still, most of them, above half HP.
And this is... Complexity have the superior team fight, but DC have such an overwhelming advantage in farm that it does... You negate that advantage entirely. It's 20k XP, 15k net worth, going up to 20k at just 27 minutes into a game for a team that has the better late game.
Yep.
That is pretty much a death sentence all around. And right now, they're going to get the first racks of the game. They don't even have pushing heroes. You talked about how Cole only had one high ground hero. Like DC's not in a better position, but they can just more readily go for it. And Limp's gonna try to get some exit kills. This is a good plan.
Yeah. Can't go for it with any confidence. Not with his teammates so far behind, so he backs up 29, 28 minutes, another 5.5 minutes until Roshan is up. DC, they want to take their time and wait for that to assure another high ground. They can go for it. As we've been talking about, they do have the better scaling. This Resolution now picks up a basher for himself. Oh, come on, these Sunstrike kills. Jesus. Top lane, Deep gets caught by Moo. Sunstruck down. Limp is going to try and get the turnaround kill. Him leading the way in the Shadow Blade. Unfortunately, he is just 2 seconds too late. Moo blinks over to the side and TP's out.
I'm gonna say in advance that people will think that I was biased in this cast, but I am much more biased to a draft.
Yeah.
Like when a draft has such a clear and easy cut win condition, it's hard for me not to just say, oh, this team won. Yeah, they're gonna call it before
Yeah,
anything
they don't even fight. They don't even lose the fight. I honestly, I expected them to call it before.
No, I thought they were gonna call it after the 15-9 fight.
Yeah.
Because they understand that this draft is just not gonna work anymore. The timing is thrown out, and there was almost no chance that compLexity were gonna win this game. Like,
Yeah.
when have you ever seen any lineup, especially one led by?